Alright, I'm just gonna relay a story, primarily that I heard recently, and I'm gonna do my interpretation of the story anyway. Um, there was a rich man, very rich, one of the billionaires, and he had one son whom he loved. That's all the family had. And about the age of 33, for no fault of his own, but helping people, this young man, he was killed. And the father was broken-hearted. And he had no one else in his life. And eventually, years later, the father died because he'd written a will because he had no one else to leave his property to. And so everything was going up for auction, all his mansions, cars, and he had some of the world's most expensive paintings and stuff. So everything was coming up for auction on one day. And it was held in a big tent, this auction. And some of the richest people in the world had come because they wanted to buy these paintings and cars and things that this man had owned. Van Goghs and Monets and Dalis and things like that. And anyway, he says the first thing on the auction list that had been specified by the father was a photograph of his son, a large one. It was on a canvas in a lovely frame. A large canvas of his son. First thing for auction. Well, nobody's come for that, for goodness sake. What do we want that for? He says, right, so the first has to go today. What? Who will open the bid? Nobody puts their hand up. And eventually, after 20 minutes of trying to get this thing to go, the little old man puts his hand up. I used to work for, he was my master, and I worked for him for years, a wonderful man. And he says, I haven't any money, but I gladly take the painting if nobody else wants it. Again, the auctioneer, last request, bang, sold for nothing to, and gives his name, to the gardener. And now anticipation grows for the next thing. And the auctioneer slams his hammer down, auction over. What do you mean auction over? Everyone's like, we'll come for the paintings. He goes, and now we'll read out will from the gentleman. And then it says, my son was the most precious thing above all else to me. And he who gets a son gets everything. There's a gospel message in that. He who accepts the son gets everything. He who rejects the son gets nothing. Once I have accepted the son, doesn't mean an easy life. We all want easy lives, but it doesn't come that way. I'm going to tell you, accept the son, and you shall receive everything. But if you reject him, you don't get nothing. You'll get what's coming. And I'd rather have him, the Lord Jesus Christ, than anything. And I just want to say I feel I should share this. I had a quiet time just a few days ago on the Friday night. And I was having a quiet time. I have one in the morning, at least one in the evening as well. And I heard the Lord say, a storm's coming, really strongly. And I waited on that and meditated, prayed. And then that evening, we had an almighty storm. The winds were howling, things were moved about all over the place. It was lightning, hail, rain. It was probably the loudest I think I've ever heard it down here. But I don't think he was referring to that storm. There's a storm coming now that we cannot imagine. But if you're in the sun, You will be protected if you trust in him. But if you don't, well, I don't fancy being on my own during the storm. He loves you. He gave his life for you as a ransom. Accept him while there's chance, because you haven't got it. You don't know if you got it tomorrow. So today is the day to grab salvation. Somebody once said, I think it was Polycarp said, when they threatened to kill him, to throw him to the lions, I think it was Polycarp, I think it said, a man is no fool to let go of that which he cannot keep, and to hold on to that which he cannot lose. And by holding on to Christ, I cannot lose my salvation. And I know where my destiny is. And I want all of you, my brother, my sister, other family, friends, strangers, even if you've done me terrible harm, I want you to be saved. Because Christ died for you. And he offers you salvation. I would take it if I were you. The alternative is not worth thinking about. God bless.